Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back. This is our video number 35. Okay, so this is going to be the last category. I know you're probably like, thank God. This is the last category of the three root letter verbs that some kind of change happens to them. Like we did the mudaf, we did the mithal, we did the ajwaf, we did all of that, and then we did the naqis, and now we're going to be doing about mahmuz. What does that mean? So this means that mahmuz is, so any of those three root letters that we are talking about, any one of them, uh, it could be hamza. So the letter hamza. It could be the first one or the middle one or the third one. And these are verbs that has the letter hamza in it, and then they fall in this category. They're called, again, they're still in the same fi'al thulathi mujarrad, but then they're called mahmuz because they have somewhere in the verb, in the original form, there's a hamza. Okay, either on the first radical or second radical or the third radical. So let's start with the first one. The first word that we have is sa'ala, and of course I'm going to give you the root letters as well. Sa'ala. So it is sin, hamza, and lam. Sa'ala. Yas'alu. Yas'alu. And then the amr becomes sal, sukun, and then sa'il. Sa'il, and then su'al. Okay, what does that mean? That means to ask. To ask. To question, to ask. Okay, sa'ala, yas'alu, sal, sa'il, and then su'al. And then the next one we have is qara'a. Qara'a. So it's qaf, ra, and hamza. Qara'a yaqra'u. Yaqra. Yaqra'u. And then iqra. And then that takes it to sukun, iqra. And then qari'. Qari'. And then qira'a. 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 There's the hamza. Okay. All right. So this means to read, recite. We did another one earlier, which was a talayatlu tilawa, to recite. And then also this means qira'a, means to read, to recite. All right. Next word is akhadha. So it's hamza, kha, and zal. So notice we have this one, the hamza is coming in the middle, sa'ala. And then this one, the hamza is coming at the end of these three root letter verbs. So it's qara'a. And then here the hamza is coming in the beginning, akhadha. So akhadha ya'khudhu. Ya'khudhu. Khudh. خذ, and then آخذ, and then أخذ. Need to write this a little bit smaller because this is a ذال. آخذ and then أخذ. Okay. And then this means to take, to catch. Take, catch. Okay. And then one more on this page. We're going to fit in here. So we have, all right, you guys can see everything. Yes. So the next word is akala. Akala. So it's hamza, kaf, and lam. Akala ya'kulu. Ya'kulu. And then it means kul. I'm just kind of pointing some things that I've learned, you know, as I did my studies, whatnot, things that were pointed out to me. That's how important it is when we do pronounce certain makhraj. What is makhraj? Where the actual sound is coming from the inside of the mouth when you're pronouncing certain letters. And some of us have difficulty pronouncing, you know, certain letters. It's difficult for all of us or some of us to pronounce, like if we're pronouncing the po and then the ta. So because the makhraj is very close, so if we don't say it properly, something else will come out, another sound will come out. And case in point here, kul. So this is kaf and then lam with sukoon on it. And then sometimes I hear when certain people have difficulty pronouncing the letter qaf. So when it says in the Quran so many times, it says qul, qul, qul. It's meaning to say, to say. And then sometimes if you're not pronouncing it properly, you are saying kul, kul. And then I've heard some of my friends in the past, they say it kul instead of saying qul. So, but the meaning changes because now if you don't correct it, so here this means eat instead of saying qul, say. So if you don't say qul, you say kul, then the meaning changes. So you're saying eat instead of saying say. All right, just wanted to point that out, inshallah. So we have kul and then akil. Akil, and then this is akl. Akl. Okay, so I already said what this means, but I'll just go ahead and write it down. To eat. To eat. All right. Review again. Sa'ala, yas'alu, sal, sa'il, su'al, meaning to ask. Qara'a, yaqra'u, iqra, qari', qira'a, to recite, to read. أخذ, يأخذ, خذ, آخذ, خذ, there's a sukun on it. خذ, آخذ, and then أخذ. This means to take, to catch. The last one, أكل, يأكل, كل, آكل, and then أكل, meaning to eat. All right, let's come back. All right. Next word we have is أمر. Hamza, mim, ra. أمر. يأمر. And then it becomes mur. And it's amir. And then it becomes amr. Like here, amr. Here's amr. This is the command. To command. Or to tell, to say. Okay. The next one we have is amina. Hamza, mim, noon. Amina, ya, manu. I want to make sure it's ya, manu, yes. Ya, manu. I'man. I'man. Amin. Amn. Okay. This means to be safe, to be secure, to feel safe. To feel safe. Okay, the next one we have is aba. This is aba. So root is, oops, sorry, didn't mean to write alif here. And then it's hamza, ba, and ya. Aba, ya, bi. Sorry, ya, ba. Aba, ya, ba, ba. Abin. This is abin. Okay, and then we have iba. Okay, it means to come. Sorry, means to refuse. To deny, to refuse. Okay. The next word is ra'a. Ra'a. So this is ra, hamza, and ya. The hamza is in the middle now. Ra'a, yara. Yara. Ra. In see. Ra'in. And always keep in mind when we come to these kind of words where we're dealing with the waw and ya in the middle and the beginning, and then there's a hamza, these cluster of verbs, there's always something is changed, something is dropped, something is added to compensate for what's dropped. And so if you have questions like I don't know where did we get the tanween from, and so always know that there was maybe something here that was taken out and then they added that tanween to it and then to compensate for it. And these naqis words and mahmuz words are always interchangeable, so just kind of always keep that in mind. So inshallah, so we have ra'in and then ra'yun. ra'yun. So there's a pattern that how these words come to be. So they go, and when we, inshallah, if we decide to go that route, then we can work on these verbs and conjugate these verbs fully, and then that way, then most of these things will become apparent, and then we'll see how these are created. You know, these verbs when they go like this was ra'a, and then now the command is just ra. What happened to the rest of this stuff? You know, so but they go through changes. You know. Um, like in this case, ra'a yara ra is because sometimes, remember when we talked about earlier, when we do from mudari to command, we drop the ya because we don't need it anymore, because the ya, it emphasizes, it shows that this is in the present tense form. But when we go to command, so we don't need that, that goes away, and then the ra is left, and then sometimes the last letter is it's sukun, and then, and in this case, because it's yeah, sometimes it gets dropped completely. So then you're stuck with this. You're just one thing, like we did the letter, the word um, waqa yaqi, and then we came to the word qi, which is the qaf with a kasra. So that is a word itself. So these words that has to do with the ya at the end of them, or you know, or the hamza and situations like this, they kind of change a little bit, but just kind of keep that in mind, inshallah. All right, so let me clean the board, and I will be right back. Sorry, I forgot to give you the meaning for ra'a means to see. Sorry, yeah, to see. Okay. أمر يأمر مر آمر أمر أمن يأمن ائمن آمن أمن أبى يأبى ائبى آبن excuse me إباء رأى يرى را راء رأي. Next word is أتى. So it's Hamza ثانية. أتى يأتي. أتى يأتي ائتي. آت. إتيان. إتيان. This means to come. Okay. Then we have sha'a. So it's sheen. Then we have sha'a. So we have this alif becomes a ya, and then hamza. Sometimes this is sha'a. So when you say the word shay, it's in here. So you know that this the middle one is going to be ya. Sha'a yasha'u. Sha. and then sha'in, and then mashiya. Mashi, mashi, this is a hamza, mashi'a. This is meaning to will, to will, to wish. Okay. Next word is sa'a. Seen. Sorry, this one is like so. So, and this is a wow. Seen wow hamza. Sa'a, yasa, yasu. Yasu'u. Yasu'u, su. Sawi. And this is the hamza. So, okay, this means to err, to make a mistake. It's to be bad, to do evil. Okay. And then the last one we have is ja'a. Oh my goodness. And then the root is jim. Yeah, hamza. Ja'a yaji'u. Yaji'u. Ji. Sukun. Ja'in. And then maji. Okay, this means to come. To come. Okay, let's quickly go over them, inshallah. And so the first one we have is ata, yati, iti, atin, ityan. Now notice the actual fi'l version, the verb version, it kind of varies, so let's not just get too focused on this, but we just want to focus, here, understanding here. And then the verb, this is how it is sometimes in like here we have the meme, it's added. We talked about this before because they go through certain changes and then that's what happens. So, but overall, we want to just focus on the Maldi Mudari Amr version of it. Okay, so we have ata, ya'ti, i'ti, atin, ityan, and then sha'a, yasha'u, sha'in, mashiya, sa'a, yasu'u, su, sawi, saw. And we have ja'a, yaji'u, ji, ja'in, and maji. All right, so alhamdulillah, we are finished with the 3 root letter verbs and different construction of them, as we talked about before, where they had the mudaf, the 2 letters at the end are matching, or the first letter was wawin ya, or the last letter was wawin ya, or the middle letters wawin ya. We covered all of those, and then we talked about the naqis of verbs where they had the last letter was wawin ya, and then we talked about mahmuz letters where they had, which we're still talking about it, this is the last of it, where the hamza comes in and gets plugged in into as to one of the 3 root letters, whether it's coming in the beginning, it doesn't matter where it is, but it's either coming in the beginning, in the middle, or at the end of it. And we had given example for all of them, for all these words or verbs that has this hamza in it. And so we are done with all of this, and now I'm excited, inshallah. So going forward, we're going to be tackling the verbs, and most of the words in the Quran. Now going forward, so far that we've covered in all of these classes that we had from the beginning until now, it was a lot of in the beginning. Most of the classes we had were we focused on just basic words, like the sky, the heavens, the mountains, the rivers, and all of this, and Jannah and Nar, and all of these words, so that we kind of focused on that. And then we focused on human beings, and the parts of the body, or the hand and the feet and the eyes and the mouth and the whatever, all of that. So we talked about all of those, and we talked about the prophets, and we talked about different huruf, like letters that are attached, and what do these letters mean, like bi or la or li, or ala, an, fi, inna, anna, all of these words. We covered all of this, so those were a separate category of everything. So we did all of that, alhamdulillah, and now we got rid of all the verbs that are like a little bit weird verbs, and something happens to them, and then something gets dropped off, something is added, something is missing. And so we kind of figured all of those out. We got that out of the way. So now, if you guys remember in the beginning, or maybe in the beginning 1 or 2 classes when when I started talking about verbs, I said that we have 10 forms of verbs. What does that mean? That means that I'll probably explain this a little bit later on again in tomorrow's video, inshallah. But it means that when we have a basic 3-letter root verb, then now going forward, we're going to be adding an extra letter to it. And then the meaning is going to change a little bit. And then the form is changed. So it's no longer fa'il thulathi mujarrad. Then it becomes something else, because it's no longer just 3 root letters. Now we're adding something in the middle of it, or sometimes it's added in the beginning of it, or both, or things like that. Or sometimes there's 3 things added in the beginning of it. So these are the construction going forward. So I just want you guys to be kind of, inshallah, aware and ready to jump into this. And I can give you this, that going forward, when we work on these different forms, like form 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it's that specific form. So there's not going to be a whole lot of changes in them. So basically, when we have the formula, and then we will resolve like one verb conjugated in that form, and then from there, then any other verb that you put in there, it's going to follow the same pattern. So, and then hopefully, maybe there's a few, but overall, it's going to be pretty consistent on that same pattern. So once you get it, then you get it, and then you plug it in. You're like, okay, this is going to be this, and it boom, it's done. And then you put in the next verb, and then it goes. what I used to do in the beginning, we used to have like charts and of different um, verbs, patterns. So I might have to do something like that. Um, you guys let me know if you need that. I can go ahead and put that on my next video. And we used to have this chart for all basically all 10 forms of the verb, and like what happens in each form, what happens, what's new, what's added new to the verb. And then it just conjugates the whole thing, like ماضي مضارع أمر فاعل مفعول, and then it goes into the majhul version of it, ماضي مجهول مضارع مجهول أمر, and then it goes on like that. So once you have this template, and then you can plug in any of these verbs, and then boom, there it is. You have it from each verb. It is said from each verb you can create, it's like another, if I'm not mistaken, maybe another 50, 60 other words from one word, from one verb, like kataba. If you put kataba in that form, and then it comes up with so many, you probably get like 50, 60 other different words meaning the word kataba in it in some shape or form. So, but that's so beautiful about Arabic language, because one word, if you understand the basic, then you can create so many other um, words on different patterns. All right, so this was just kind of like a prelude to what is coming, inshallah, on the next video. So we can get excited, and the forms are, it's like once you get it, once you get the pattern, if you sing it out loud to you, whatever, I mean, usually it helps me when I just repeat it in my head. That's funny because in the beginning, I even still do it now. In the beginning, when I used to learn all the stuff, whether it was in the masjid, we used to take advantage of the free classes I was giving at the masjid, or I studied online by myself and with different professors and whatnot. Everybody has a different technique, of teaching. And so I had a professor that he used to sing certain like tunes, and so it would stay in your head. And but it's always like I would lay there sometimes at night, and if I couldn't sleep, I would just start, singing and repeating all these verbs, Arabic verbs, in my head for like maybe an hour or so. So finally I would have to tell myself, okay, go to sleep. Let's just stop. Just go to sleep. So my point is that the more repetition, the more practice you have, even if you're doing your stuff on daily, if you're just walking around, or I don't know, if you're cooking or if you're cleaning or if whatever it is that you're doing, if you just kind of practice the stuff, the patterns, then it becomes a lot easier. And you'll be surprised at how it sticks to your head when someone gives you the maldi, and you can right away can figure out what is the mudari version of that verb. And usually it's going to have maybe like one or two differences, whether it's going to have a kasra or whether it's going to have a fatha on the verb. So but that inshallah comes with a lot of just kind of reading and practicing. All right, until next video, assalamu alaikum.